Welcome to sunny South Florida. Oh wait, no, this is sunny Ohio, where it's Friday, February the 11th, and the temperature out here is about 17 degrees. Still, through the wonder of technology, I'm able to handicap the card for Gulfstream, and here are my selections for Saturday, February the 12th at Gulfstream, where the feature race is the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Sprint Championship. The first selection I have is in the first race, where it's a non-winners 2 lifetime. My selection is number 5, Champ Desire. Champ Desire is one of only 2 contenders in here who have not been beaten, and beaten soundly, at the 2 lifetime level. The other horse has run once in his maiden debut and he won. Came back twice against winners and was beaten, like 20 or 30 lengths, didn't even finish his last race, and is trained by a trainer who's over at the meet. Here in Champ Desire, you get a horse that broke his maiden first time out, has been laid off since that November race, and now comes back today, first off the claim for super trainer Nick Canani. Of course, Canani and owner Frank Calabrese score at close to 40% with that kind, so I will take number 5, Champ Desire, who is the second choice on the morning line. In the second race today, an optional allowance claimer, I like Bernie the Maestro, number 2. He's 4-1 on the morning line. This race is filled with front runners, and Bernie the Maestro has a race over the track at the 1 mile distance. So can he run a sprint? He's never been 6 panels before, but he has turned back to turf sprints. In fact, I had him in the Anderson Fowler last summer in a 5 furlong turf sprint at Monmouth, where he probably should have won the race except for traffic trouble. He comes from off the pace when he sprints. That sits up perfectly here. I'll take Bernie the Maestro in the second. In the fourth race today, it's scheduled for the turf. Don't know what the weather's going to be like, but regardless of whether it's on the turf or not, I like number 1, Furthest Land. Furthest Land was the 2009 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile champion. Didn't have such a great year in 2010, but he did in 2009 win a turf race here at Gulfstream, and he's a proven commodity over the main track. So regardless of the surface, I like number 1, Furthest Land, especially at 5-1 on the morning line. In the fifth race today, it's a maiden claimer. My selection, double the investment, is number 4, Sold the Farm. This is a maiden claimer for a price tag of $75,000. Sold the Farm is a first-time starter for Todd Pletcher with Johnny Velasquez up. That's an automatic bet at Gulfstream. Looks to me like Pletcher didn't want to send this one out in tough maiden special weight company, so he picked a high-priced claimer, $75,000. Looks like he's been working fairly solidly. I think he's a good selection in here. He's the 7-2 morning line, so I will take number 4, Sold the Farm. In the sixth race, it's an optional allowance claimer, scheduled to go a 1-turn mile on the main track. My selection is Equestero. There are several horses in here who appear to have talent, but what they all have in common is they want the front end. Equestero is a lightly raced runner from the Nick Zito barn. He won his maiden on Breeders' Cup weekend, going 7 furlongs in a stretch duel, and he prevailed by a nose, was given time off, came back here early in the meet. He won at a 1-turn mile. That was 6 weeks ago. He's been working steadily since. He's got the outside post, he's got Julien Leparoux, and he comes from off the pace. I think all those things set up for lightly raced improving colt. I will take Equestero in this race. My next selection is in the 8th race, which is a maiden special rate, going 6 furlongs on the main track. My selection here is number 11, Back Down, and I will double the investment on Back Down, who is the 7-2 morning line choice as well. What I like about Back Down is he faces a bunch of first-time starters today, which they may have talent and they may not. Usually maiden special weights at Gulfstream do have talent, but Back Down is a proven commodity. In his 5.5 furlong debut at Belmont, it was a dual key race, and he broke badly, broke behind the field, was 5 wide into the lane, so I'll excuse that. Came back in his next race, where he was going 6 furlongs in New York. That day he faced Brethren. Brethren came out of that race to win a stakes race, and will be the heavy favorite today at Tampa Bay in the Sam Davis Stakes as he sets off on the Triple Crown Trail. That race was justified when the runner-up to Brethren came back to score again. That day, Back Down was beaten 2.5 lengths. He looks much the best today at 7-2. I will take number 11, Back Down. And finally, my last selection is my best bet of the day in the 10th race, the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Sprint Championship. I think Soaring Empire lays over this field. This field is made up of a lot of runners who look like they want the front end, so it will set up really well. My only question is, same thing as 2 weeks ago in the Sunshine Millions, Tackleberry's in here, turning back from 9 furlongs, but even when he's sprinted, he's always wanted the front end, so he'd be really dangerous if all the other jockeys allow him to get loose on the front end, but I just don't see that happening. Soaring Empire is a multiple graded stakes placed and a graded stakes winner. There's only 2 other graded stakes winners in here. Coffee Boy doesn't deserve to be a graded stakes winner. He beat a field of 4, which included the classy DeFunnybone, but DeFunnybone did not run his race that day, and that was 3-year-olds only. Today he comes off a long layoff. Today he faces his elders for the first time with much stiffer pace figures than what he's used to running against. And of course Tackleberry, who's graded stakes winner. So I like Soaring Empire. He's won a graded stakes race here at Gulfstream. On opening weekend he won the House Hope. He has won at 7 furlongs here. In fact, the only 3 times that he has sprinted in his career, he's won all 3 of them. He'll probably sit mid-pack, make his move. He's the 8-5 morning line favorite. I think he's well deserving of that. We'll be lucky to get 4-5. He's today's best bet. That's Soaring Empire, #1 on the rail in the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Sprint Championship. We'll come back and see how we did, and maybe we'll have some selections next weekend when we're back in sunny South Florida.